Hi, my name is Jake Rockowitz. I'm known on Drupal.org as Jay Rockowitz. I'm nominating Memorial Sloan-Kettering Cancer Center for a Blue Drop Award. I'd like to do a screencast to demonstrate how mskcc.org leveraged Drupal to build a great website. Memorial Sloan-Kettering Cancer Center has the general mission statement is treatment, research, and education, which is the breakdown of the main IA, cancer care for treatment, research, and education and training. I'm going to focus on the cancer care side of the site and specifically a patient experience. One of the goals of the redesign was to make a more focused patient experience when they're looking at cancer information. Newly diagnosed patients are only interested in their cancer, which is why we have this widget. And this widget is a great example of the use of contrib and custom code. And throughout this screencast, I'm going to go back and forth between discussing core, contrib, and custom. Underneath this widget is the CTools jump menu module. It's included in the CTools. And I created a CTools jump menu style module, which just stylizes it and adds a little jQuery to open it up and make it a little more aesthetically pleasing. I'm going to move into cancer care just to give you an idea of the landing pages. These are done by panels. It has some integrated videos. Custom content type is very nice. This is jQuery UI being used, which is part of Drupal 7, which is an amazing module, to just reuse the menu but kind of break it up slightly different. And I'm going to move ahead and I'm going to go into prostate cancer. I'm going to scroll down, find prostate cancer here, and get into the section. As I'm going to log in, I'm going to start talking about this is a book. It's an overview. We call them cancer overviews. They're very focused experiences with a dedicated navigation. At the bottom, you'll notice I'm logging in. This login's only visible if you're inside MSKCC. I'm going to log in, and you'll see a couple of things. I'm going to get to the login screen. I'm going to enter my credentials. I'm outside the MSK network, so LDAP is not available. It's going to jump in, close this. Sorry about the password thing. Close it. And I'm brought back to the page. This login button is very useful for doctors because we can tell them if they need to update their bio. You say navigate to your bio, log in at the bottom, and now you go click edit. And obviously, they don't see all this functionality. To start off with, what the UI is doing is at the top is the admin menu. It's a contrib module. I've modified it. I made a couple of pretty significant tweaks. One of the most immediate ones is I made the text a lot bigger and I moved all the administrative features into this one menu. My opinion was, or my goal was, to make the menu more focused on people's day-to-day tasks, which is editors updating content, and that's why I kind of created this. My account is a very standard feature. This is a little dashboard. This is going to evolve as the site evolves, but my content is, there's basically two patterns here. People want to either look at the content they've created or create new content. So my content shows people the content that they own and they can make changes for. It's a combination. Content's managed through workflow and revisioning. I'm logged in as an admin, so I can see the 11,000 nodes on the site. If you are a general user, you'd only see the few hundred or even the 2 or 3 that you have access to. Now I'm going to jump over to find content, which is kind of like the gatekeeper of all the content on the site. These are a bunch of admin views to quickly access things. I'll just illustrate it. This is, get into, by the way, I'm using the Drupal 7 theme, which has been backported to Drupal 6. It's a great theme. It's very lightweight and clean. This is a very fast loading views for people to quickly get to content if they're doing a lot of management. This view is on the site. You can navigate to clinical trials on the site and see the exact same information. And one of the first items is a managed content view, which uses views bulk operations, which is a very popular module. It's a great module to just kind of create views that your administrators can kind of manipulate the content. With the views bulk operation module, I created a module called the views URL alias module. It just allows you to filter by URL alias. There's some technical challenges there, but it addresses them. And I'm going to illustrate it by, I'm going to filter by prostate cancer. Now the site has really nice SEO paths that break down the site into a good hierarchy. So you have a cancer care adult and then the cancer type. And now what this filter has done is it allows me to only look at prostate cancer. So I'm looking at all the pages involving prostate cancer, which helps on an 11,000 page site. And I can do bulk operations. Some of the bulk operations that I've done using this feature is, change the author, update the URLs for just a section, change the title, and it also just gives you a quick overview. You can just look at the SEO paths and monitor the page styles. Now I'm going to jump into prostate cancer because the goal of Screencast is to kind of illustrate what a patient experience is and what both at the same time, the patient experience and the editor's experience. So we're back here and it's a book. The book module is a great module included in core. It's built off the menu system, and I created a book helper module to kind of add some enhancements to it. I'm going to illustrate it by going into the order tab. The order tab is just I'm bringing some functionality that's actually hidden in the menu system over here. There's a way to get to a page like this, and I'm adding some features. I'm making in the book module, I'm making it possible to add a custom title versus a page title. Diagnose, this is a great example because diagnose and treatment is the navigation title, but the page title, and for good SEO reasons, is diagnose and treatment at Memorial Sloan-Kettering Cancer Center. You could also have some hidden links. This was all possible because the book module is built on Drupal's the menu module, which is part of core, and I was able to just expose some features to it. I'm going to go back to the overview, and now I kind of want to go back to this menu here called Create Content. I want to kind of explain, there's a module I created that's been contributed back called the Create Content module, and what it does is it suggests content that you might want to create as you're navigating around the site. So because I'm in a book, I'm on the main page of a book, it's suggesting that I might want to add a page to this book. And I'm just going to go to the page and just show you that the URL, what it does is it just kind of passes the right parameters to the URLs, and it can even pre-populate CCK fields. And it just starts adding a page. It makes it easy for people to create content on the site, and I'm going to come back to it as I navigate around. So, this is a nice example of panels being used, and some more video integration on the site with View Slideshow module. And I'm also going to go to the it's the prostate cancer multimedia page, which is, so the site does have a main multimedia page, but the reality is the videos are always focused to an audience, so all these different sections of the site uses views to create these mini pages. And this is a nice example of views just being themed to integrate. Basically, I'm rolling up videos into playlists and I'm listing them out, but then when you search, I'll use surgery as a good example. When you search for a word like surgery, it'll unfold the videos and let you kind of pick the videos that you're interested in. And once again, I'm going to go back to the Create Content module, and in this context, I'm on a page that's only displaying videos, and it knows, even though it's in a book, the module is set up to realize you don't want to create new pages here. You want to add videos to this page. So it's kind of a very intuitive user experience. And just a quick, it's hiding the 32 other content types that someone could create at any given time. So moving along, I'm going to go to the prostate cancer expert page, because one of the goals, that's one of the things patients are interested in is their doctors. And this is a very nice page that illustrates the use of taxonomy and views. These are taxonomy terms organized into a profile category. The profile categories are not visible to external users. They're just used to organize information. Sorry to be umming, but now we'll move on to surgery. I want to just scroll down and show you, this is a combination of views and image cast display a nice list of these doctors, and these images are all reused. And another nice module, and I'm going to kind of jump into the taxonomy, how taxonomy is being handled on the site. A node order module, which is part of Contrib, allows you to weight your nodes. And for doctors, you have to weight your doctors because you do always have a chief, and Peter Cardino is the chief of surgery, so he's got a -50 weight, so he comes to the top of the list. And then I have a bunch of other tabs that I'm going to walk backwards through. There is a module I created called the Taxonomy Helper module, which has not been contributed back yet. It's a pretty complex module, and I'm working toward being able to contribute it back. But I added this Add Nodes tab, and what it does is it allows you to add people. Let me see, I'll type Peter. I'll find a doctor named Peter, and you can add him quickly to the list of nodes associated with the terms. Very useful for Sloan-Kettering because they get lists of doctors that need to be added to different specialties. And then there's also this Add Term tab. We're using hierarchical taxonomy, so this allows you to add a term below a term. It's pretty useful for some of the other more complex taxonomies. Edit terms are kind of a really interesting example. So this is a contrib module for D6. In D7, this feature was brought in. I installed the module, and I can honestly say it inspired these other two tabs because I saw how this improved the usability of managing taxonomy, and I said, why not have some other features? Now I'm going to jump over to the main view, and what we're going to see is just now we're looking at the prostate cancer experts, only the surgeons. We're in the taxonomy management. This isn't publicly accessible. And I also have a little block here. It's a very simple block that just tracks where this term is being used on the site, and this is a great way to jump back to the prostate cancer expert page. So now we're back to where we were before. We've made some minor changes. I've added someone. I'm going to go to Peter Scudino because, once again, I want to illustrate how content is being, how patient experience and how we're editing content. So we're on this page, Has another nice integration of videos. Once again, a nice use of jQuery, which is just part of Drupal, to do a little slide out player. I just want to point out these little yellow links are some prototyping features we're working on. It's automated inline links to try to just especially if we have about 1,000 to 2,000 profiles, doctors, researchers, staff members on the site, to automatically link to bios whenever a name is mentioned. It's in yellow to help editors understand what's going on. This is another very simple contrib module called the collapse text module. It just lets you add a little more slide out link. You wrap your text in the word collapsed, and boom, you get that feature. Now I'm going to go into the node edit form, because also I've done some usability tweaks on this form. Besides the 7th theme, which just really creates a very clean node edit experience, I created a module called the field set helper module, and it's also in contrib. And it just gives you these collapse all and expand all features for field sets, and also the module allows you to remember what field sets are open, so when I hit refresh, the field set will stay open, but the main photo will stay closed. Now, I'm using field sets to group similar CCK fields. In 7, they'd be called fields. So, the main photo and the general information. And then there's also this little jump to menu. One of the problems in Drupal is you get these long forms. I like these long forms because I've built a CMS where you have many small forms, and that can be hard to manage too. This widget just shows all the fields on the page, and if someone needs to update, for example, their education information, they can quickly jump to it. Now scroll down, you can edit the information. Now at the bottom, once again, there's just a nice pattern of, in D7, vertical tabs was created, and someone, I think maybe it was even created at the same time in D6, and you're able to use this feature in an older version of Drupal. I'm using vertical tabs to group kind of the properties of the page, or the general information. This information, if a doctor logged in to update their page, they would not be able to see all this information, only the meta tags and probably only the keywords. So this is a pretty good demo of how I'm using Drupal to maintain this, to manage this site. I'm going to go back to the main page. Here's our doctor. I'm going to go to the home page, and my final pitch for why Memorial Sloan-Kettering Cancer Center deserves to win a Blue Drop Award. It's not because mskcc.org is a great site. It's because MSKCC's implementation of Drupal demonstrates how Drupal can be used to build a great site. And finally, if you want more information about MSKCC and Drupal, there's a full case study on Drupal.org. It's up and available. And at the bottom, you can actually navigate to an appendix. Wow, it's a very long case study. I forgot that. You can navigate to an appendix which lists out all the information about the site. I'm just giving descriptions of content types, taxonomy vocabularies, and finally I'm listing out all the contrib modules installed on the site, and then followed by all the custom modules that have been created. I'm calling them sandbox modules, so some of them have been contributed back as full projects and some are just sandbox projects, and you can get the list. And that's it. That's my screencast, and thank you for watching. Take care.